And here's busy Rama 4. It's Sunday, about 5 p.m., but this street is always busy. It's just kind of a main, it's busy as Sukhumvit, just a main thoroughfare to get around town. I'll do a separate video on Rama 4 at some point, but it's not one of my favorite streets. There's some good buildings down there, but it's a little industrial. Just what you see here, a lot of that is all the way down Rama 4. A lot of tire shops and muffler places. Again, maybe there's some great little spots, hidden spots back there, but 9 out of 10 times when I'm in a cab just zooming down Rama 4, there looks to be some great late night street food places, but again, it's just very industrial, but that's just my opinion. And then Rama 4 is going to pop out right on Sukhumvit and all the high rises, and about no, actually right there's the W district. I don't know if you can make out that W right there. I might wander over there and get a bite to eat, or at least take a look. I've did a couple of videos on the W district. Like many things in Thailand, there's been a lot of rumors. It's going away. They sold the land. They're putting up a condo. But I've been hearing that for 2-3 years. And I don't know a lot of guys in there, but I know the person who owns the Mexican food stand. And he told me, yeah, you know, we've been hearing those rumors. It's possible. I think he said the land was sold, but I think he also said his stand had been there a long time. And I think he said the land has been sold before. So that doesn't necessarily mean something's immediately going up. So hopefully the W district will stick around. It's a fun little spot. I also mentioned it before, you need to kind of map out how you're going to get to your condo. I used to stay at the Life 48, which is 2-3 blocks down on the right, and Phra Khanong BTS, which is right there, was my train. So I'd get off the train and every day have to I'm not going to do it on a red. She knows what she's doing more than I do. But every day I'd have to run across this Rama 4, and it can be a gauntlet. I mean, the motorbikes, they kind of take the red lights as an option or a stop sign. Everybody's going for it, so I think I'm going to go. And I'm on a red light, but even on a green light, yeah, kind of green plus 5 is kind of the rule over here. Wait another 5 seconds, and there you go. It's green. They're going, they're going, they're going. Even this car wants to go. So if you hesitate, they're just going to keep going, even on a red light. But certainly don't just step out in front of traffic because you see that green. They almost expect, hey, it just turned red, so give me 5 more seconds to get through there. If not, you're going to get a horn, or worse yet. And I'm not that smart, so I stayed in that building 3 or 4 times before I finally figured out, why am I getting off the train on this side and having to run across this Rama 4, which I hated, especially after having a few pints, when it was almost just as easy to get off on the train on the other side, walk the same distance, and come over this nice pedestrian bridge, and it just dumps you right here, and the condo's just 2 blocks on the right. So pick your trails home carefully and make your life simpler. And once again, right on the other side of the pedestrian bridge, you can see a Taco Bell over there. Yeah, walk right past that garbage and go back, and you'll find the W district. But while I'm over here, I'll turn the camera over here, and at the end of this little soy, which is marked Soy Sukhumvit +1, but it's right across from W district. At the end there, you'll see J Bar and Cafe. That's a real fun spot for, like, everybody that lives in that building. They'll be down there 5 nights a week, having a beer, getting a little bite of food, and just hanging out with people. And there's the J Bar. Again, it's 5:15. It's still kind of hot, so as it cools down, people will start pouring in. You can see it's just an open air place. And if you go up here to the left, I need to hang out in this place. I just stuck my head in there one time at like noon. I forget exactly what it's called. It's like one of those retro video arcade places. I think they have all the 80s arcade games in there. They have a bar. Pretty sure they do a stand-up show up on the top deck. And I think they show movies every now and then. I think I've seen Come Watch Porky's at, again, I forget what it's called, but we'll be there in a second. I'm walking there, I'll point out this Sukhumvit Plus. This building it's a little bit older, but I've always seen it in the discussion for affordable units. And you're in Phra Khanong, so you're one stop before En Nut. Not too far out here. I mean, En Nut's not that far out, but you're a little bit closer. You do have that nice W district right across the way. But look up Sukhumvit Plus, see if it might fit your needs. It's definitely a Thai area, and somebody had mentioned, hey, you know, in the comments, I appreciate the videos, but do you feel welcome wandering through, say, a neighborhood like this? And the answer is 100% yes. In fact, even in a more, you know, we'll call it rustic environment, there'll be people that have renovated like these shop houses into beautiful buildings. And I think there's some Japanese restaurants over here. Well, big surprise, there's another dispensary popping up. They're everywhere. I can't, oh, here it is right in front of me, Arcadia. It's called Arcadia, and I guess they also have a dispensary down below. So try not to get hit here. Hi. So Arcadia, you know, take on the old arcade, and it goes all the way up. So they'll have different events there. I've seen different meetups, but just another fun little spot. So even in a kind of non-suspecting neighborhood of just Thai apartments and all, you'll find cool little things. I'm sure they got to deal on the rent, not being on busy Soy 11 or a more touristy spot. You have to come find these places, but it might be well worth it. And there's the building I used to Airbnb in all the time, Life 48. It's also a pretty good spot. I think most of the units are a little larger though, so it commands a little higher price. But check out Life 48, and there's what is it called? There's a property right next door. Let me see if I can get around the corner here. I think there's 2 towers of that building, whatever it's called, and I think they're small, like 29 square meter, but they come at a super affordable price. So check those units out. Again, there's the Sukhumvit Plus, Life 48. They're all in your Phra Khanong area. And I probably walked through here 50 times, because again, I stayed at that Life a lot, and I would go over to that J Bar a lot. And you just kind of have to keep your eyes open. I've walked this route dozens and dozens of times, and I've never noticed that you can cut through here. Not that it's that big a deal, but that's exactly where I'm heading. This is the Hopeland Hotel. So I'm just gonna cut through and I'm back up on Sukhumvit. It looks like at the Hopeland, or attached to it, they have the old zero gravity, what is that chamber you float in? The Bangkok Float Center. And I'm just walking back to that pedestrian bridge to get over to W. I know on this side of the pedestrian bridge is a nice Irish pub. I think it's O'Brien's. And here it is. I came close. It's PJ O'Brien's. I've been in there a few times. Nice spot. I see they have an 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. happy hour. 75 baht Tiger, 79 Singa. And I'm guessing those might be pints. I'm not sure. Pints or bottles, that's still a pretty good deal. Most of the happy hour pints around town are 99 baht, and oftentimes down where I hang out at O'Shea's on Soy 33 and a half, they do happy hour from opening until 7 p.m. I know they also do live music. I'm not sure how often. At least a couple of times a week, I've seen the Bangkok Beatles in there, and I see the Level Up open mic. I think it's a comedy open mic happening. Like any big city around the world, there's CCTV cameras everywhere. It's funny when I mention crime, the Bangkok podcast, and check that out if you're interested in Bangkok. Greg and Ed, they do a great job on the podcast. I know Greg said he had a really nice, I think it was a carbon fiber bike that was ripped off from his parking garage. I'm not sure if it wasn't locked up or they broke the lock. I'm not sure. But he reported it. It was a very expensive bike. And I guess with all these different CC cameras all around town, they saw the guy. They saw him leaving the parking garage. Then he was on the next camera, the next camera, the next camera. I'm not sure if they found the guy, but just keep in mind, those cameras are everywhere. If you decide to maybe do something stupid like take a leak in an alley or something like that. Don't be surprised if a police motorbike just comes zooming up to correct that action. Even on a Sunday afternoon, this is what you can expect with Sukhumvit traffic. So before you're in a big hurry to come over here and purchase a motorbike, I would ride on the back of these motorbikes. These guys in the orange vest are taxis, and just ride on the back of 20, 30 rides, and you'll see how chaotic it can be. You're expected to you know, zip in and out of traffic, and it's kind of dog eat dog. So before you make that investment and get out here and maybe get yourself in a little bit of trouble, just ride on the back of those motorbikes and then make your decision. Me, I've ridden dirt bikes and been on bikes my whole life. I'm super comfortable, and I personally have no desire to go zipping around Bangkok on a bike. If I was in a situation where, whatever, I buy a condo, say right here, and I hang out 90% of the time within 2 or 3 blocks, 4 blocks, yeah, maybe I'd get that motorbike just to run up and down the street. But to rely on driving 5 miles across Bangkok traffic, it's you're in for a real eye-opening. Now other places like Pattaya or Hua Hin or Koh Samui, the islands, yeah, you almost need a motorbike to get around. I wouldn't recommend doing a lot of drinking and driving, jumping on that motorbike, but just to get to the store or get down to the beach or get to the pub and then abandon it and pick it up the next day, that's almost a given. But this is a favorite of mine. It's a authentic Hawaiian shaved snow cones. They do it just like in Kauai, or order it up and put your different flavors. I think you can put a scoop of coconut ice cream. I'm not an ice cream guy on my shave ice, but you'll find it here at Monkey Shack. I'm always talking a little smack about Taco Bell. I'm just a Southern California guy. I'm half Mexican, so I kind of know my tacos and my good stands in even Mexico. Just eating my whole life in Baja and Southern California. I can't really remember the last time I stuck my head in Taco Bell in California. I'm sure I did, just to get some drunken 39-cent tacos or whatever it was. But over here, it's really not that cheap, and it's really not that good from what I've heard. I think I had one taco over here years ago when it first came here, and it was just kind of a same taco shell as you get in Taco Bell, but this one came across an ocean over the last 30 days and just felt kind of stale with weird ground beef, and it was still $2 a taco or something like that. So don't waste a lot of money, in my opinion, on Taco Bell and McDonald's when you can hit these different stands that I'm going to show you here in a second for less than $5, sometimes less than $3. You can have an incredible meal. And I don't remember this little stand being here. Big Bull Pizza, $1.99. That's not a bad price for a pizza. A little simple operation, little pizza oven, or maybe they even have a store back in here. This is like a shopping area, and this is just where they heat them up. Over here is a craft beer place. I think things change. Oh, it's closed. That's a craft beer spot, but surprisingly closed on a Sunday afternoon. And some coffee places. And the W's just up where those people are and right to the right. Now, I've been in a few rooftop bars. The one at the Bangkok, the Marriott on, I think it's near Tong Lo, is the Octave rooftop bar. That's okay. All the rooftop bars are going to be overpriced. I haven't been in this Cielo. It's a Sky Bar and restaurant. You're going to get a beautiful view at all of them. The payoff is going to be $8, $9 beers. And I'm just on my cell phone here, and it's getting really windy. I can feel a storm coming on, so I hope the sound isn't too blown out. I'm trying to block it with my back, so hopefully I'm doing an okay job. And I've pointed this place out before. It's just a 3-story or 4-story, I don't know. It's called the Beat Hotel. It looks like a kind of funky place to stay. This W district is, and I'm not real sure what the W even stands for, but it's very artistic. Lots of art. There's an alligator and some different sculptures. And again, it's 5:30, not 6 p.m. This place will really come alive into the evening. The only problem with the W is there's no cover. I don't know why. I guess they just want it open air. But when it rains, and it rains often here during the rainy season, it'll rain every day, or 6 days a week at least, for a couple, 2-3 hours a day. You don't want to come over to W District if it's sprinkling. Here's a fancy Tinto, tapas and wine shop. There's a couple of wine shops around, but I'm here for the cheap eats. Call them food trucks or food stands. Couple of my favorites over here, Holy Smokes Barbecue, and the one next door, I forget what it's called, Cooper Steak. You just get a small amount of steak and they cut it up and with some fries, but it's like 200 baht. It's nothing. And the second you grab a seat, you'll just take your little number over there, and then they'll come running over when the food's ready. But the second you sit down, there's a bar over here on the left, and they'll run over and bring you a Coke or a beer, whatever you want. Looks like they have some nice beef burgers, 250 baht, pork burgers, 230, classic beef, 200. And my friend, I've came over here with her a couple of times. She loves the grilled cheese. I'm like, for a little bit more, you can have a nice burger, but she's all about the grilled cheese. And this, I think, is new. Angelico Spaghetti House. I don't remember seeing that. And that's the bar over there. Is it Cheers? I think it's Cheers. I think there's a little indoor bar, and then it's an outdoor bar. But these waiters and waitresses, they'll just hustle you over a drink. Once again, it's super empty right now. Oop, just about tripped there. I'm sorry. And here's the barbecue, Nepalese barbecue, Indian food. And this place, Cosmo Bar and Bistro, it's a really nice bar. When you walk into it, it's huge. You can enter, well, it's not huge, but it's large. You can enter it on both sides. They have a really good happy hour and happy hour food, like 3 sliders for a small amount of money, that kind of thing. So here at Cosmo, their happy hour is 4 to 7, Monday through Friday, and 12 to 7, Saturday and Sunday. They have Leo 45.50 and Leo's for 45 baht and San Miguel for 60 baht. That's actually really cheap. I was paying 120 baht for San Miguel's last night, which is the norm here in Bangkok. Even you'll see 140 if it's like a Hillary's and there's a band going. I know guys that might watch this hanging out in Pattaya, they'll say that's ridiculous, you know, 60 or 80 baht is the norm in Pattaya. But rents are just much more here. You'll see specials on happy hour. And the one thing, and I've mentioned it in other videos, is they're pretty flexible on the happy hour. In other words, I'm not sure about Cosmos here, but one of my places I hang out, O'Shea's, I was in there the other night, and just coincidence, I walked in at 10 minutes until 7 and ordered up a pint, and it was 99 baht. And she asked me, well, how many more pints do you want? Because happy hour is going to end in 5 minutes. And I said, well, let me pay for 3, you know, and I left her a decent tip. She saved me, I think the pints went from 99 to 140 or 160. So she was nice enough to let me prepay, and that has happened to me many times. Many places they'll come over and say, you know, happy hour is ending, so buy them up, hang out for the next 2 hours for all we care. And that's the Mexican food spot I was talking about. I don't see the owner, but he's a nice guy. He's from Mexico City, and I talked to him a year ago. Maybe. I've talked to him a couple of times. But he told me he came over for a visit from Mexico City, and he's been here, I think he said 29 years. I just ordered some carne asada tacos, and I know I showed that in a video before. 280 baht, so less than 10 bucks. You're going to pay for meat over here. Mexican food is not super cheap. Not that that's expensive, but compared to a Thai meal. Again, I don't think I've had carne asada tacos since the last time I was here, and that was maybe 2 months ago. So I'm gonna treat myself. Now, I didn't really take my own advice. It's getting, you can feel the temperature and dew point dropping. If that's what happens right before it rains, you can feel it coming on. I don't feel any sprinkles or anything, but the temperature dropped 10 degrees in the past half hour, and it's definitely the time where it normally rains, going into 6 p.m., 6, 7, 8 p.m. Unfortunately, that's when everybody's heading home from work and all, but That's where it starts raining most of the time. One tip, so you don't have to learn the hard way. Ladies, if you need to use the restroom, they're not that great. Let's just put it that way. Oftentimes there won't be paper in there. So ladies, you might want to keep some wet wipes or something in your purse. No paper in restrooms is not uncommon. They'll normally have a bum gun, but you still might want to kind of pat yourself dry. But just wander into Cosmo, use the restaurant in there, or even the hotel, the Beat Hotel over there. They're not really so uptight in Bangkok. If you just walk off the street at the Hilton or the Hyatt and just walk into the lobby, they'll say hello. Just walk right into the restroom. It's not really that lockdown of a situation over here. If you have to go, you have to go. And I was just talking to Jose, the owner. I got the flour tortillas. I maybe should have got the corn. I just wasn't sure what he used. I always get the flour, but he's over there making the corn tortillas fresh. And I see the chips up there. Most good Mexican places will take their own homemade fresh tortillas and just cut them into triangles and throw them in the deep fryer, and you got a nice, delicious homemade chip. And there you go. I went with 3 carne asada, and his salsa is really nice. Tastes like, oh, get up there, fly. It tastes like a bit of a habanero based. I'm sure it's Thai peppers, but it reminds me of a habanero type salsa.